Chosen One, stop everything you're doing right now. A spiritual trap has been set against you within the next 72 hours, and your body has been screaming it in silence for days. Your enemies are in panic. They felt it. They realized something shifted in you, and now they're moving behind the scenes, trying to come back, trying to plant doubt, trying to use your kindness against you before the solar eclipse of August 12th permanently breaks the chain that held you to them. This isn't paranoia. This isn't imagination. This is spiritual warfare happening in real time, and your body is the first battlefield. If you've been feeling your body heavy for no reason, heat waves rising and falling in seconds, one eye tearing up out of nowhere in the middle of the day, dreams that feel like premonitions, shocks when touching objects, sobbing out of nowhere, and a strange sensation that something huge and invisible is about to happen, you're not going crazy. You're not getting sick. You are one of the chosen ones, and your body is the first antenna picking up what's coming. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal to you the 7 physical symptoms that have already begun in the bodies of the chosen ones because of this eclipse, what each one means spiritually, what false trap the universe will place in your path before the wealth transfer arrives, and how to cross through all of it standing, crowned and watching your enemies from afar stare at your public victory without being able to touch any of it. Pay absolute attention. Don't skip any symptom, don't pause the video, don't leave the tab, because most people will ignore exactly the signal their body is sending right now, and they'll miss the biggest turnaround of the last 7 years. And I'm not talking about an emotional turnaround, I'm talking about unexpected money arriving. Generational wealth transfer unlocking, giant doors opening in areas of your life that were locked for years. All of this is just days away, but it only reaches those who know how to interpret what the body is warning about right now. There's something no one ever told you about eclipses, and that's exactly what changes everything. The chosen one doesn't feel the eclipse on the day of the eclipse. The chosen one feels the eclipse before, days before, weeks before, because the chosen one's body is literally an instrument of spiritual precision, calibrated to perceive frequency shifts that other people will only notice when it's already too late to position themselves. Think of your body like an old satellite dish, the kind that sits on the roof of a house pointed at the sky. While most people walk around with their antenna off, resigned, numbed by work, by bills, by pointless arguments with mediocre people, by the family WhatsApp soap opera, your antenna has been on 24 hours a day. And when a cosmic event the size of a total solar eclipse combined with a new moon approaches, that antenna starts receiving the broadcast early. That's why you wake up tired for no reason. That's why you feel like the air is different. That's why you look at the people around you and think, no one else is seeing what I'm seeing. No one else is feeling what I'm feeling. And here is the absolute truth I need you to understand before we continue. The body of the chosen ones enters the shadow first, because it is the one that needs to be recalibrated first. The universe does not waste energy on those who will not use it. You were chosen to cross this passage before the others because you have a mission to fulfill on the other side. While your neighbor is still complaining about traffic, you are already being prepared to receive an amount of material blessing that will not fit into your old life. That is why the old life needs to be emptied now. That is why the symptoms began. That is why people are dropping off your radar, and you cannot understand why. Absolutely none of this is random. None of this is coincidence. And literally none of this is weakness. It is wartime preparation. One last note before I reveal the first symptom. If any sign is too intense, persistent, or out of the ordinary for your body, see a doctor. The spiritual dimension does not cancel out the physical dimension, and the chosen one also takes care of the temple where their soul lives. With that said, let us move on to the first sign, the one that is deceiving most of the chosen ones at this very moment. Symptom 1. Sudden fatigue and a feeling of disconnection. You slept 8 hours. You made no effort at all the day before. You had no stress out of the ordinary. And even so, when it is time to get out of bed, your body feels heavy, as if you had been carrying bricks all night long. You look at absolutely simple tasks, brushing your teeth, replying to a message, making coffee, taking a shower, and those tasks look like mountains. You sit on the edge of the bed and stare at the floor for 20 minutes without understanding what is happening. You open the closet and cannot decide on an outfit. You start a sentence and forget the middle. This is not laziness. This is not a vitamin deficiency. This is not ordinary depression. This is your body anticipating the reduction in sunlight that is going to happen on August 12th. While the moon prepares to cover the sun up there, something down here inside you begins to switch itself off, on purpose. It is as if your internal battery had received an invisible order delivered in a military command voice. Save, store energy, withdraw. What lies ahead will demand everything from you, and you cannot spend anything now on nonsense. Your body is being placed into low-power mode by a greater intelligence. And those who try to fight this withdrawal, who try to force productivity, who try to force down coffee and energy drinks, reach the day of the eclipse broken, without reserves, incapable of receiving what they were destined to receive. And here is the cruel detail no one notices. While you are exhausted and withdrawn, the false friends and the toxic people who surrounded you are awake, agitated, anxious, without understanding what is happening to them. They are in a panic over your light, even when you think you are switched off. Because the truth is you are not switched off, you are being withdrawn, and these two things are absolutely different. Those who know you feel this difference, even from a distance, even with no contact for months. That is why exactly on these days when you are the most tired, an ex will reappear. A friend who disappeared will send you a message. A relative who hurt you will call you just to see how you are. It is not longing. It is radar. They have noticed that you are going through something big, and they do not want to lose you to a version of yourself they will no longer be able to control, manipulate, or use. You need to understand something violently clear. The exhaustion you're feeling is not illness, it's a filter. The universe is using your own fatigue as a sieve to separate you from the wrong people. Those who only sought you out when you were useful will disappear in these weeks because you have no energy to perform anymore. Those who only called you to vent their problems will fade away because you don't have the patience to carry what isn't yours. Those who wanted you available all the time will start finding you strange and distant and different. Let them. Let it happen. This fatigue is cleansing your life before the great turning, and every person who pulls away now is an energetic debt being paid off by you. That's why I prepared Miss Estella for you. A practical 21-day challenge built exactly to cross this eclipse window without wasting a single gram of your soul's energy. While your body asks for rest, your mission asks for clarity, and Miss Estella delivers both at the same time. Short daily reflections, simple practices that fit into any routine, power declarations, and self-knowledge exercises to turn this exhaustion into direction, this shutdown into awakening, and this feeling of emptiness into activated cosmic purpose. The first pinned comment below this video has the full access with all instructions. Don't walk through this passage unarmed, chosen one. If you accept the call now, leave the word present in the comments as a public decree that you understood the message. That comment is your signature on the invisible contract already written in the sky for you. And while your body shuts down into withdrawal mode, it's already preparing you for the second sign, which is even more physical, even more intense, and even more easily mistaken for a common health problem. It's the sign that sends the chosen one running to the emergency room for no reason. Symptom 2. Dizziness, chills, heat and tingling. Out of nowhere, with no apparent cause, you feel a wave of heat rising from your chest to your face, even with the air conditioning on full blast. 5 minutes later, a chill runs down your spine as if someone had opened an invisible window behind you. You get up from the chair and feel the floor shift, a brief dizziness almost imperceptible, but real. Tingling in your hands, your feet, the back of your neck, your lips. A physical restlessness with no obvious medical explanation, because you didn't drink extra coffee. You didn't overexert yourself. You don't have the flu. You didn't eat anything strange. You measure your blood pressure, it's normal. You measure your blood sugar, it's normal. And that's where most people make the worst mistake. They start fearing their own body, when they should be deciphering what it's screaming. Listen with absolute attention, because this is literally a decree from heaven passing through your flesh. These oscillations are the tension between two frequencies occupying the same body at the same time. The old frequency, that version of you that accepted crumbs, that stayed silent at tables that offended you, that bent over backward to please people who would never choose you back, that justified itself for having an opinion, that apologized for existing. That version is being violently expelled from your system. And the new frequency, the one already being activated because of the eclipse, is pressing its way in to occupy the place that was always its own. And when two frequencies grate against each other in the same body, the body trembles. It's basic physics translated into human flesh. Think of an old radio being manually tuned between stations, that crackling noise, that oscillation, that half-second where you hear two songs at once, overlapping until the new frequency locks in clean. That is exactly what is happening inside you right now. The heat is the active burn of what needs to leave. The cold is the empty space that opens up right after, when something old is removed and the vacuum appears. The tingling is new energy circulating through channels that were clogged for years, like blood returning to an arm that had gone numb. The dizziness is your inner point of balance being readjusted to a new identity, and for a few seconds you literally no longer know who you are, because the old answer has already been erased and the new one is still loading. And while all of this happens inside you, understand one thing. Your enemies are feeling the opposite. While you are being recalibrated, they are being unmasked on the spiritual field, even though no one has seen it in the physical yet. While you have heat, they have envy burning inside them. While you have chills, they have fear of what you are going to become. While you tingle, they freak out looking at your profile, trying to understand why you seem different in recent photos. Because every wave that passes through your body is a part of your energy being taken out of their pockets, being returned to you, and they don't know how to recover that energy because it was never truly theirs. It was stolen. That is why I prepared Mission Estelar for you. In this recalibration, the Chosen One cannot be left without a compass, or they will get lost in the crossing. The first pinned comment has the full access. Go now, because whoever enters this window unprepared crosses doubled over and arrives on the other side more confused than when they entered. But before these oscillations end, they migrate to an even more intimate place, even more silent, even more impossible to ignore. Your sleep. Symptom 3. Restless sleep and more intense dreams. You lie down. You are exhausted. You close your eyes, and sleep does not come. You stay there staring at the ceiling for hours. Or sleep comes, but it throws you out of it at exactly 3 in the morning with your heart racing. For no apparent reason, with no conscious nightmare, just a strange feeling that something woke you from outside. And when you finally fall asleep again, the dreams arrive. Vivid dreams. Dreams as colorful as cinema. Dreams with people from the past you swore you had completely forgotten. With places you did not even know you still remembered. With scenes that seem like coded messages from another dimension. You wake up, and the feeling is that you dreamed all night without stopping, as if you had worked while sleeping, as if your body had rested but your soul had been on duty. This is not common insomnia. This is not anxiety. This is the unconscious of the Chosen Ones being forcefully opened by the eclipse. While the moon approaches the sun up above, something inside you opens a portal to everything that was stored under the rug of your soul. Old memories you repressed, grudges you pretended to have forgiven, wounds you thought you had gotten over, conversations that were left unanswered, decisions you made out of fear and not out of truth. All of it returns to the surface during the night, because the eclipse is literally an astronomical event of exposure. It exposes, it reveals, it rips the mask off what was hidden, in the sky and inside you. And here is the point that hurts to admit. Many of these dreams will bring back the faces of people who hurt you, ex-partners who betrayed you and you thought you had forgotten, friends who pretended to be friends while rooting against you, relatives who sabotaged you disguised as advice, bosses who humiliated you in the name of professional standards. And it's not because you want those people back. It's not. It's because their energy was still trapped inside you, stored in some corner of the unconscious, and your unconscious is using sleep to return what belonged to them. Each of these dreams is a spiritual postal delivery, a return of a package stamped with, "Does not belong at this address." You are literally placing each one of those people outside of your soul while you sleep, without needing a conversation, without needing closure, without needing courage. Sleep is doing the heavy lifting for you. Pay very close attention to 3 types of dreams that almost every chosen one has this week. First, dreams where you appear walking, climbing stairs, crossing a bridge, finding a door, walking down a hallway. These are direct premonitions of the transfer that is coming. Unexpected money, giant doors opening, opportunities you didn't even know existed. Every staircase is a financial step up. Every door is a material opportunity. Every bridge is a crossing into another level of life. Second, dreams with water. Clean water is a blessing arriving. Dirty water is an energetic debt being paid off. Rain is emotional release. The sea is inexhaustible abundance. Third, dreams where you appear dressed in white, gold, or wearing a crown. These are the most powerful. They are the direct confirmation that your new identity is already ready on the spiritual plane and is only waiting for you to accept it down here. Write these dreams down upon waking immediately, before you pick up your phone, before you speak to anyone. Do not trust your memory right now, because your mind is overloaded with signs, and you will forget. Keep a notebook by your bed. Write it down, even if it's just one word. That word will make sense 3 weeks later, when the predicted event happens. And also pay violent attention to the dream that is coming, because almost every chosen one, in the week of the eclipse, has a very specific dream. It's a dream with a toxic person from the past, in which that person appears, apologizing, crying, saying they've changed, offering reconciliation, swearing it's different now. Write this down in your mind now. I will come back to this point in the middle of the video, because this dream is the beginning of the trap the universe is going to set for you. And if you don't know how to identify it, you fall. Symptom 4, one eye tearing up with no apparent explanation. You're in the middle of the day, with no emotion on the surface, no allergy, no wind, no smoke, no screen time, and suddenly you feel a tear roll down from a single eye. Only one. The other one is dry. You wipe it and don't think much of it. 5 minutes later again. The same eye, no conscious sadness, no logical reason, and this repeats for days, always the same eye, always in the middle of something banal, as if your body were crying on its own while your mind is busy with something else. Absolutely none of this is a medical coincidence. This is the most poetic and at the same time the most brutal symptom of all, because it is the exact portrait of where you are right now, stuck between 2 worlds, with 1 foot on each bank of an invisible river. One eye cries for what is leaving. The other eye is already seeing what has not yet been born. You are literally split in half between the version of you that needs to die before the eclipse and the version of you that will be reborn after it. And the body, unable to contain that division within itself, lets a single tear escape from a single eye, like a silent seal of the passage, as if it were signing an invisible document every time a tear falls. The chosen one doesn't cry like other people. The chosen one cries before knowing why, because the chosen one's soul is processing something the mind still can't name, and the body is the first to receive the information. That single eye tearing up is your soul saying without words, I am closing a cycle now, I am releasing something now, I am saying goodbye now, even though you still don't know to what. And it can be goodbye to a person, to a version of yourself, to a house, to a city, to a professional identity, to an old belief about yourself, to an expectation you carried since childhood that was never true. And look how interesting the timing of all of this is. While you shed that silent tear inside yourself, your enemies out there are making a noisy scene. They're posting indirects, they're spreading chatter in the groups. They're trying to build some drama to call you back to the old battlefield, to the old stage where they were still the protagonists of your life. This is where you need to understand something violently clear. The chosen one's tear is not weakness. It's a contract signature. Each tear released is an old contract being torn up on the spiritual plane. Each tear that streams from that single eye is a clause being cancelled. You're not crying from loss. You're crying from release. And each drop is one less document binding you to the past. That's why I prepared the stellar mission for you. Don't cross this tear alone, chosen one. The first pinned comment has the 21-day map. Decide now, before the next symptom. The window is open. And while one eye still streams in silence in the middle of your day, the next symptom begins to happen with your skin and everything you touch. And this one, honestly, is the most frightening sign for anyone who doesn't understand what's happening. Symptom 5. Static shocks and an electric sensation in the body. You touch the door handle and get a shock. You touch another person's hand and feel a brief spark. You walk past the microwave and it beeps on its own. Light bulbs burn out in your presence with strange frequency. Your phone drains faster when it's in your hand than when it's on the table. The car's digital clock resets when you get in. Have you noticed this happening more in the last few days? And no, it's not just the dry weather. It's not just the synthetic clothing. It's you. You've become a source. The chosen one's body, in the week of an eclipse, turns into a human capacitor. It accumulates such a high energetic charge that it needs to discharge somewhere, otherwise it implodes from within. And when you touch metal objects, people, surfaces, that accumulated charge discharges as a visible static shock. Scientifically, yes, there is an explanation involving electrons and air humidity. Spiritually, there is a much greater explanation behind that explanation. You're not just absorbing the tension of this astronomical period, you're transmitting that tension to everything that touches you. You've become an ultra-high-power transmitter without a license for it. And here's the part nobody told you, but that explains things you've been living through. When you enter rooms now, the wrong people feel deeply uncomfortable without knowing why. They change the subject when you arrive. They get aggressive out of nowhere. They look at you sideways for no apparent reason. They leave the group conversation the moment you post something. It's because your current electrical charge is literally interfering with their energy field, and that bothers them on an animal level, on the reptilian level of existence. You've become a walking disruptor of lies. Wherever you go, the false can't stand on its feet. That's why in these coming weeks, you're going to lose friendships without any big argument. You're going to break ties with a coworker. You're going to feel like leaving WhatsApp groups. You're going to stop replying to people you used to reply to out of obligation. Let it happen. This is automatic field cleaning. You don't have to do anything. The eclipse is doing it for you. And while the false friends drift away feeling the invisible shock, your true allies start appearing out of nowhere. People you never expected are going to reach out to you offering opportunities. Invitations are going to start coming in. Messages from strangers with proposals for work, for partnerships, for collaboration, for creative ventures. Giant doors start opening, but only for those whose frequency is aligned at the right moment. Whoever is in a bad mood, resentful, clinging to the past, is going to watch these opportunities pass by without being able to grab them. Whoever is clean, attentive, and available is going to receive everything. Now I need to warn you about the test the universe is going to apply to you, and you need to brand this into your mind with fire. Before the wealth transfer truly arrives, the universe is going to place a fake trap in your path. It's going to come from a toxic person from your past who's going to reappear seeming completely changed. They're going to come crying, humble, saying they finally see everything, that they did therapy, that they miss you, that they want a second chance, that they're different now that they've matured. It's going to seem so real, so mature, so unlike what this person used to be, that you'll doubt your own radar. You'll think, maybe they really did change. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Listen to one thing. This person has not changed. They're in a panic because they felt your transfer arriving on the spiritual plane, and they want to sneak into your new cycle to benefit from it from the inside, without having to do the spiritual work you did. How do you completely disarm this trap? I'll tell you at the end of the video. Hold on to that information, because now I need to show you the symptom that might be the most present in you right now, and you didn't even realize it was from the eclipse. Symptom 6. Hiccups and momentary changes in breathing. Out of nowhere, in the middle of nothing, a hiccup, then another, and another in sequence. You didn't eat fast, didn't drink anything cold, didn't choke, but you hiccup, and the hiccup seems to come from a very deep place in your chest, almost as if someone inside you were knocking, asking to come out. Or you catch yourself sighing deeply several times a day, out of nowhere, as if you were venting about something you don't even consciously know what it is. You sigh in the middle of a meeting. You sigh while driving. You sigh staring into nothing in the bank line. Or you sit on the bed at night and realize you've been breathing shallowly and briefly for hours, almost apnea, and you need to stop everything to pull in a deep breath that fills even the bottom of your lung. Your breathing is strange, out of rhythm, interrupted, restarted. Listen carefully. The eclipse is a pause. A temporary pause in the sun's light, a cosmic breath where the sky holds its air for a few minutes and then releases. And your body, being a living microscopic mirror of the cosmos, is imitating that pause in advance, in the form of altered breathing. Each hiccup is a micro-pause. Each sigh is a micro-release. Each conscious breath you have to force is your system asking you to imitate down here, in your flesh, the rhythm the sky will execute up there on August 12th. The Chosen One does not watch the eclipse. The Chosen One participates in the eclipse from within, and his body begins the dress rehearsal days before. The hiccup, above all, is a very ancient sign. Many spiritual traditions all over the world treat a sudden, causeless hiccup as the exact moment when something stagnant is shaken out of the body involuntarily. It's like a child burping after feeding. It's the excess leaving on its own. And in this pre-eclipse period, what comes out in each hiccup are particles of stagnant energy accumulated over years of living with someone who emotionally drained you. Each hiccup is literally a drainer leaving your field, a toxic word that got stuck, an offense you swallowed, a scene that hurt you and you pretended it didn't. All of that tiny comes out through the hiccup. And the deep sighs are the opposite, the other side of the coin. They are the new entering through the door the hiccup opened. Each deep sigh is a part of your new identity settling inside the body. It is the soul expanding the inner space to fit your next version, which is larger, more luminous, and more powerful. That's why it needs more air. Don't hold back sighs. Don't swallow hiccups. Don't apologize for breathing like that in front of others. Let it out. Let it in. The Chosen One breathes differently because the Chosen One is being exchanged from within, organ by organ, cell by cell. And while your breathing changes, something bigger and broader begins to happen with all of your 5 senses at the same time. Before I reveal this final symptom, and before I give you the formula to disarm the false trap, you need to understand one absolute thing. You are not going to cross this passage in silence, on a it'll pass on its own basis. It won't pass. It will pass over you if you don't take control of the crossing now. That's why I prepared the Missio Estella for you. 21 days of daily reflections, simple practices, declarations, and self-knowledge exercises designed exactly for the Chosen One who is feeling all of this at once and needs to turn chaotic sensitivity into clear spiritual direction. The first pinned comment below has the full access, and it was pinned there for a single specific purpose. So you don't finish this video, close the tab, and lose the most important window of the last few years because of 2 minutes of emotional indecision. Click now, secure your access, and come running back to watch the final armed symptom. Because the next sign is the climax of everything, and the unprepared Chosen One does not cross that peak standing. Symptom 7, hypersensitivity of the skin, the nose, and the senses. You can't stand the feel of your shirt tag rubbing against your neck anymore. It drives you insane now. The light from your phone seems brighter than it was a week ago. The noise of a crowded restaurant makes you want to leave after 10 minutes. Smells that used to be neutral. A co-worker's cologne, the soap of someone close, now either nauseate you or delight you intensely. Your skin itches at random spots for no reason. No bite. No known allergy. You sneeze in sequences of 5, 6, 7 sneezes in a row. Your nose congests out of nowhere and clears up on its own half an hour later. Goosebumps rise on your arm when someone says a specific phrase near you, as if your body were underlining important information your mind didn't catch. You feel everything, absolutely everything, at maximum volume with no volume control. This is the peak of the crossing. This is the exact moment when all previous symptoms accumulate and reach the surface of your skin at the same time. It is the body of the Chosen One at the absolute apex of reception. Every antenna is open and pointed at the sky. All channels are on simultaneously. Your entire skin has become an organ of spiritual perception, and this means one wonderful thing. You are literally ready to receive what comes on the 12th and in the days that follow. Only those who are open like this receive. Those who are closed off, numb, dulled, let the blessing pass right by and don't even feel it. And it is exactly here, exactly at this point of maximum sensitivity, that the false trap I promised to explain will arrive. Pay very close attention now. This is the most important moment of the video. At this peak of extreme sensitivity, a toxic person from your past will reach out to you. It will seem like perfect timing, almost magical. They will say the exact words you always wanted to hear. They will cry for real. They will admit mistakes they never admitted before. They will say they miss you in specific details. They will make an offer that seems too good to be a lie. And you, with your skin raw with sensitivity, with your heart split open from so much weeping, with your body tired from so much recalibrating, with your soul wide open waiting for love, will feel an absurd urge to believe. You'll think in a low voice, maybe the eclipse changed her too. Maybe she's chosen too. Maybe I'm being cruel. She didn't change. She isn't chosen. You're not being cruel. She felt your transfer arriving through the spiritual field and came to collect her part before the door closes for good. How to disarm this trap? Simple to say, brutal to execute. Single rule: don't answer in the heat of the moment. Don't decide on impulse. Don't send an emotional voice message. Don't meet in person. Leave the message on read for a full 72 hours without replying anything, not even an emoji. If after 72 hours this person keeps reaching out with genuine humility, without demanding a reply, without emotional blackmail, without the "fine then, I get it" guilt trip, then you reassess with clarity. But no important decision of the chosen one can be made during the emotional wave of the eclipse, when sensitivity is at its maximum and judgment is at its minimum. The universe is giving you 72 hours of automatic protection. Use them. Meanwhile, unexpected money will start to arrive. Doors will open one after another. The generational wealth transfer that was blocked in your ancestors will begin to flow into your account, into your projects, into your opportunities. And your enemies, the ones who pretended, the ones who sabotaged you, the ones who laughed at you, the ones who bet on your downfall, will be forced to watch your public victory without being able to touch any of it. Not because you wanted personal revenge, but because the universe collects on its own the debts no one paid, and it collects them in front of everyone under a spotlight, so the lesson stays on record. After the peak of sensitivity, the body relaxes in waves. There comes a good weariness different from the exhaustion at the beginning, a weariness of mission accomplished. There comes a great thirst, as if the body had burned everything inside and needed to replenish. There comes a profound sense of relief, almost an inexplicable lightness. It is the final release. It is the eclipse passing through you and coming out the other side. And on the other side of that passage, there is a completely new person, with an activated mission, with a remembered purpose, with a soul crowned in public. That person is you in exactly 21 days, if you make the right decision now, this minute, before this video ends. The first pinned comment is down there, one tap away. Do not go through this passage unarmed, chosen one. Do not go alone. Do not go guessing the way. Mission Estelar was built to fit exactly into this 21-day window between the eclipse and the definitive turning point. Each day has a practice. Each practice has a purpose. Each purpose takes you one step toward the place where your soul has been waiting for you since before you were born. If you are chosen, you already know what to do. And the chosen one does not think twice when the sky has already spoken 3 times. Comment "I accept now" and click the first pinned comment. Your new life begins before the 12th, and it begins the minute you say yes.